Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I want to welcome you. This is the Dr. Shabbat Show. On this show, we talk about hot topics. We also review videos. I also like to talk about how feminism has destroyed society as well as marriages, relationships, and home. And so today, I want to talk about a very popular dating coach or show on YouTube and Facebook, which is Kendra G. Kendra G has been around like right before 2020, and she has been very controversial because she takes a lot of Kevin Samuels talking points. But recently, she went ballistic on men that review her content. And on top of that, a very popular comedian kind of went for her because he probably got a hold of what she said about black men who review her content. And so I want to show you what she said and then also show you what Corey Holcomb said. And then I'm going to come back and give you my 2 cents. So before we get started, please like this video if you like this type of content and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started.
You want to be a guest, push the request. Before I start the show, I want to say something directly to all the bitch ass men podcasters that can't create original content because no woman would ever call your show. So what you do is you stalk my page all day and you say you do reaction videos. But the truth of the matter is you're bitch ass men. You know, we have all this conversation about women being so masculine. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a bitch ass man trait. A bitch ass man can't build his own page. You know, he can't do it on his own. So we got to find a woman to eat up off of. Because they're not doing it because they really want to give information. No, these are small penis nobodies, could never get attention, can't do it on their own. So they got to come to my page. One thing I would say about Kevin Samuels, he was original with his content because even though he said things harsh at times to women still called his show. I have to give it to him because I would be surprised that women will call him up just for him to read them for filth. But guess what? He had enough swag to get women to call him directly. Oh, you bitch ass men, y'all a different breed. Goofies.
That is the rant that Kendra G went on a couple of weeks ago about male podcasters that review her show or do a reaction video. And it's so interesting because on YouTube, that's what a lot of people do. It doesn't matter who you are. And the fact that she's calling people out, I mean, that's what people do. Even when Kevin Samuel was alive, there were people that I even did it where we review their content, you know, to say you agree with them, you give them credit. But for her to totally disrespect so many male podcasters, and we all eat off each other. I mean, that's what we do. There's some who are just better at it than others, but that is, you know, what we do. And her show is not, to me, it is something that people have to talk about because some of the people that come on it, it's just mind blowing the things that they say. So, of course, people are going to review and react to it. So, anytime you put anything out on the internet, it's fair game, you know, and that's what the fair use is for. But for her to just, you know, go off on men specifically because there are women that review her channel, I even do it. So that's the part that I think, at least for me and other people, it's just not right and it's not cool. And so one person that truly was upset about Kendra G, and he reviewed her before, is Corey Holcomb. He's a very controversial comedian, and I'm going to show what he says, and I'm going to, you know, edit some of it because it is a lot of profanity, and he uses the B word a lot. So I am going to edit, but you can check out the full um, show. I'll put that in my description box. So let's review what Corey had to say.
For this, but I don't care. It's too funny. I had to say something about it. I want to talk about the sister Kendra G. Y'all know who that is?
Kendra G.
Kendra G.
No.
She's a girl who used to do radio in Chicago that I met on the radio in Chicago. And is that her?
No.
Oh, my bad.
Nicole, she's 57.
Okay, no, she used to do radio in Chicago.
That's
but
where I know the name.
But she now does her show, her version of Kevin Samuels' show.
Oh, yeah, I heard you bring her. Yeah, I heard her.
Yeah, she does her version of Kevin Samuels' show. And I think she really flopped when she went on this show with Tamron Hall. And I'm going to just play the clip first and let people watch. They might see what I'm talking about. So can we play that clip? All right, give it to me.
Just speaking because I heard you say I don't think men want a broke lady, but they also don't want a lady that's going to be too expensive. You know, wigs is $2,000, lashes is $300. Okay, so are you easing into high maintenance? Yes. Well, I think that yeah, that's real high, real high. And you're owning. So 2025 people are owning the high maintenance. Well, women feel like this is what I do for myself, so a man has to be able to do the same or more. Why can't you keep doing it for yourself? I agree. Why if you here? If a man is here, why am I? But you're not here for my wigs. But they're feeling like this. Okay, I'm showing up for you. I'm giving you my energy. I am in your presence. You should pay for this. Now, I just speaking because I heard.
Stop.
That's crazy.
She made a damn fool out of herself. And I mean, like, I'll give my opinion why she made a fool out of herself. Craig, you was laughing.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it first or you want me to go?
I mean, shit. You sell them. Why? If you just say I'm a prostitute and this is what I charge to f with me, that is more respectable than trying to sound respectable, but being in denial about who you are. That's like being a firefighter. You got a hose in your hand, you got the water going, and you saying I'm a football player. Play football, you fight fire. It just don't make no sense to me how people think they can create their own reality. I mean, you can create your own reality, but at least be man or woman enough to make a debatable claim that might be controversial, that people may disagree with or may agree with, and at least support it with some facts. And then say, hey, because I can pay my bills, I can pay for wigs, and I can't take care of myself financially, so I need a man to do that. That's more respectable than making a complete fallacy statement that has no truth to it. It's just all delusion.
I agree with you 1,000%, Greg. I'm glad you said that because that just adds to what I was thinking. See, I want to tell Kendra G something that she really needs to stop pretending about this as well. Tamron Hall is a bad.
Super bad.
Her problems ain't your problems. You have to wear a wig in order to be out here in these streets like you want to be. Tamron Hall could have on a skull cap with a square in her mouth. Her level of action is going to be different to your level of action, Kendra. And I'm saying what Greg said is a very important point as well. It's like women trying to act like everybody on the same level is one of the greatest forms of being delusion as you can get. Everybody's not on the same level.
So I want to cut the video off there because then he goes on a rant and calls some really not nice names. But that's not the point. The point is what he is saying is that number one, Kendra G is like one of the biggest dating coach for women and dating show on Facebook and YouTube. And it's so interesting because I'm going to start reviewing some of her dating shows, and she always talks about, the woman, what they qualify for, and it's so interesting. 'Cause like I said, she takes talking points from Kevin Samuels, And she, never really acknowledges it, but she really basically took his idea and just ran with it, especially since he passed. And but then she goes on a national syndicated show and says, men need to pay for, the expense of women. And I don't know who she's talking about, because she can't be talking about the women on her show, because she always says, tells them, what makes you think you can qualify for a man that makes 100,000. And then now she's saying that, men should be able to pay for weaves, $2,000 weaves and 300 lashes. I'm just so confused. And if this is the woman that leading modern women into dating, I'm just so scared. She doesn't say anything about character. She doesn't say anything about, having faith. It's all about the money and extravagant, lifestyle that someone needs to cater to or take care of. And Corey makes a good point about, women believing that they're all a tens. And it's interesting because when a man loves you and he truly loves you, he's going to think you are a 10, even though realistically you're not. But in the man eye that loves you, you're a 10, because they see you for the outside and the inside. And that's the part that I think a lot of women don't understand. When a man loves you, he puts you typically on a pedestal, and you could do no wrong in his eyes. But that is not the reality. When you go out here in 2025, if you're trying to date someone, they see it. And the thing about men, they're very visual, creatures. It is something that is biologically who they are. It is nothing that we can change. You cannot force a man to like something he doesn't like. A woman needs to have self-confidence, but I think it's more about attitude and demeanor. I think Kendra G is an attractive woman. She's very physically fit, she's shapely, but I think it is about her attitude, because when they talk about her at the Super Bowl, and it was embarrassing the way that she was dancing and carrying on. That is something that, it is. I don't care what anybody says. It is just not ladylike. I use that word. I know I get dinged for it because I shouldn't. We shouldn't be saying the word ladylike in 2025. But that's the word I like to use. Feminine. And when we show her at the Super Bowl, what man that truly is about something is going to be okay with his woman dancing like this, and then her wig falling off, and then turning around? It was just, you know, kind of sad. So, yeah, so I think it's less about looks and more about attitude and knowing where you fall in the dating world. Like, what's your rank, So, and it's sad because no one wants to tell somebody, well, you're not as attractive as you think you are. Then it's just not nice. It's brutally honest. It's not my philosophy. I think honesty with humility is the way that I like to go. That's a good thing. Honesty with humility. That's important in this world, because people aren't going to remember what you say. They're going to remember how you make them feel. So that's my 2 cents. I would love to hear what you all think. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, this is Dr. Shabbat. Bye.